This is legitimately crazy. I just finished about a 25-minute live stream. We talked about Chris Bassitt's trade. We talked about the hypotheticals of what was next. I mean, literally, what was next. It was happening as we were live streaming. Matt Olson has been dealt to Atlanta for a boatload of prospects. They're number 1, 2, 6, and like 14 prospect ranks in the Atlanta organization. Freddie Freeman's part of this. You're assuming he's not back with Atlanta for next year. So much to process. But I think what we need to dive into first is the Matt Olson aspect. And so I'm obviously here in California, not in Arizona yet. Turns out when I get to spring training on Wednesday, Matt Olson will be in Florida with Atlanta. Martin Gallegos covers the A's, does a great job. I want to showcase his tweet from 13 minutes ago, which includes this Matt Olson interview. So let's hear what Manaea has to say.
There's obviously a lot of noise about it, so I knew there was a potential of something happening. I can't say enough about the A's organization, what they've done for me. I've been here since 2012, so almost 10 years, my whole baseball career, and it's bittersweet leaving. Obviously, I know Atlanta is an amazing place, World Series champs, my hometown. So, if there was one place to go and leave here, that's the place to do it. So, I'm excited about it. A lot of good friendships here that we'll be saying bye to, and it's just like I said, bittersweet, but excited about what's to come. There's obviously
I gotta say, what's hard to grasp and process and digest right now is the fact that this is the last time Matt Olson is going to be wearing those colors. I mean, unless he comes back at the end of his career or whatever, that's it. And as Martin points out there, Matt Olson was pulled back today from workouts due to the impending trade. So he's just dressed up and they said, hey, have a seat today because this is likely going to happen. And so he gave his thoughts there, and I saw some other quotes. I don't know if Martin talked to him after the fact, but it's tough. I think a lot of us, our first choice was to stay and be an A as long as we could, try to flip the cycles that have been here in the past. I know there's a business aspect to it. I appreciate everything they've done for me. And as he continues here, it hurts that a lot of guys wanted to end up staying here, and it couldn't end up happening financially wise. We know what we're signing up for. I'm excited for the next chapter and to go to Atlanta, a team so dedicated to winning and won it all last year. So, wow. Like I said, it's weird because we're a couple days removed from the Bassitt trade, and I said that it wasn't surprising that he was dealt. It was just that maybe he went first. I think Olson's value, probably among everybody that the A's have, probably the highest. That's no disrespect to a Matt Chapman or a Frankie Montas or a Sean Manaea, but look what Olson has been consistently able to do, especially with the bat. The glove, he should have had a couple more Gold Gloves already. But this is the chance for him, as he said, to go home. He's from Georgia. To play for, probably the hometown team. I never really asked him that about his favorite team growing up, but I would have to assume it was Atlanta, and especially timing of his youth and who Atlanta was back then in the Smoltz, Glavine era. And Terry Pendleton played for them too. For him, and you can kind of see just the, I almost want to play this. In fact, I'll do this. Let's not even listen to what he says. Let's just look at body language here for a second. He's probably, not shocked. These trade talks, this has been running through his mind, this day and this happening. This has been playing out for him since November, October, maybe even before that. But to know that he gets to go to a place like Atlanta, which is special to him, and they're a good team there, And for this day now to finally happen so that he can move on to what's next. Being in limbo, maybe like he was, it's part of the business, it's part of the job, but I can't imagine that was very fun for him and any other names that are out there right now that are still going through it. I mentioned before in my previous video, this is the double-edged sword of the A's situation, where you probably want to get these things squared away ASAP. You probably want to, figure out what's next and make these moves and cash in essentially, but don't do it until the actual situation is right. And on that note, give me a second here to reload. I do want to talk about what the A's got in return for this trade. And you're going to have to forgive me because here are names that I'm not familiar with, and we're going to learn the pronunciation. I hope, looking back, if it's 4 or 5 years from now, I'm looking back saying, you didn't know how to pronounce these names? These are such important A's players. But the A's have acquired right-handed pitchers Ryan Cusick, Joey Estes, catcher Shea Langoliers, and outfielder Christian Pash. Again, I hope future Brody's looking at this saying, I remember that day. I remember this day. It was frustrating. It made you feel all sorts of different ways. But I mean, look what it says here. According to MLB.com, Pash is the Braves' #1 prospect. Langoliers is number 2. Cusick is number 6, and Estes is number 14. So let's go back to the deal in December of 2014 that the A's made. Jeff Samardzija and Michael Manaea, right? They went to the White Sox. Semien, Bassitt, Fegley, and Rangel Ravelo in return. But think about like literally Semien, Bassitt alone, not to mention throw in Fegs. That's what the A's got for Jeff Samardzija back in the day. That's what this is. 4 players here. Even if 2 of them pan out delightfully, in a certain year, you're going to be pretty happy about this. I'm not trying to minimize this. I'm not I know the pain. I totally understand that. I relate to it. I'm right there with you. Personally, to see the trajectory of Matt Olson, what he became, what he established, what you hate for this to happen. But it's what the A's are going to do, and it's what the A's are going to hopefully reset and reload. I mean, this is very tactical. If there wasn't, I would say this would be more frustrating, right? If it didn't come with history and it didn't come with a plan. It's very clear what the plan is. There's direction here. There's history and there's direction here. It doesn't make it easier to swallow or process right now, but such is the case in this situation. Let me do this for those just tuning into the video. Let me play this one more time. Martin Gallegos covering the A's for MLB.com. A couple others have tweeted out videos, but I really respect Martin's work and everybody's, but I've chosen to feature his tweet and his video here. So this is Oli now 21 minutes ago.
There's obviously a lot of noise about it, so I knew there was a potential of something happening. I can't say enough about the A's organization, what they've done for me. I've been here since 2012, so almost 10 years.
And I do want to point that out. We think about, Matt Olson became an A in 2017, and that's true, but he had been in the organization 5 years prior to that. So it's all he's ever known as a big leaguer. And coming up with that group of him and Chad Pinder and Matt Chapman and a couple others, I mean, this is a dramatic shift in his life. Again, it's not totally unexpected. This did not come out of the blue by any means, but it really is all he's ever known for a lot more time and a lot longer than you'd think.
2012, so almost 10 years, my whole baseball career, and it's bittersweet leaving. Obviously, I know Atlanta is an amazing place, World Series champs, my hometown. So, if there was one place to go and leave here, that's the place to do it. So, I'm excited about it. A lot of good friendships here that we'll be saying bye to, and it's just like I said, bittersweet, but excited about what's to come.
And it makes perfect sense. I mean,
there's obviously a lot.
Selfishly, I wish this weren't happening. I wish it were different. It's not. This is what's playing out. And I also want to say, too, there's a boatload of other questions. Mark Kotze will probably answer these now. Who's going to play first base for you this season? What will the interim look like? It's a big bat you just lost in your lineup. That's a lot of protection for anybody else. I'll go back to my overarching theory on all of this. 2022, an interesting season for the Oakland A's. On the field, sure, but off the field, this is what you're reloading for if you're recalibrating for a timed effort in a brand new stadium at Howard Terminal. It's important that like a meeting on Wednesday happens and things go well and things continue to move forward on that front so that all these moves that are being made can potentially time out. I mean, just think of what's coming together here in the future. That perspective is all I can really give you right now. I know. I realize. I realize the sentiments of the pain. I get it. We love this guy. How could you not? Perfect hair again, by the way. This guy always with the perfect hair. But what I'm saying is, there is some direction, there is some history, there is something behind this. This is not out of the blue. This does not come with a lot of consideration. So I'll tell you what, just because, again, some people are only tuning in, I'll play it one more time, and then I'll probably end the live stream. Manaea from about 30 minutes ago.
There's obviously a lot of noise about it, so I knew there was a potential of something happening. I can't say enough about the A's organization, what they've done for me. I've been here since 2012, so almost 10 years, my whole baseball career. And, it's bittersweet leaving. Obviously, I know Atlanta is an amazing place, World Series champs, my hometown. So, if there was one place to go and leave here, that's the place to do it. So, I'm excited about it. A lot of good friendships here that we'll be saying bye to, and it's just like I said, bittersweet, but excited about what's to come.
Yeah, and bittersweet's probably the only way to put it for A's fans too, right? Like, you are going to benefit from this. You are hopefully going to capitalize on this, and it's all going to work out well and maybe even great in a handful of years. But right now, I get it. Like, I totally understand the sentiments, the feelings, and I'm right there with you. Mark Kotze's right there with you. 162 A's games, probably the 120 or 30 I'll do this year. They have a different taste to it already. They really do. But like I said, if any of you are surprised by this, then I don't really know what to say. Maybe I'll do another video if there's another update. Not really surprised. I did the whole live stream this morning with the feeling of tension and anticipation. I still feel that way. I don't think the moves are done. All right? I'll talk to you next time. Bye.